Have you ever wanted to make your own custom key tag before? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you. So this is one that I've made here. This one opens up a link to my YouTube channel, but you can have it open up a bunch of things, link to your social media, etc. Ton of stuff. Here's ones that I got pretty cheap, 10 bucks, and they're at your house. So here goes into the designing process a little bit. 3D printing, you got to think about how you want to design it to fit in, what shape you want it, what text you want to add in, all that stuff. So first thing I do is just take some measurements. Now when I'm designing, I like to first draw the shape in actual size. So whatever the object is, I'm going to put the diameter in the actual measurements I'm getting, as well as make sure I get all the dimensions that I need. So in this case, we're going to need a diameter and a depth measurement. That way we know how big of a pocket we want in that piece there for the tag to sit in. So another tip that I found is I like to draw everything in these small parts, the actual size, so that when you go to measure it up, you can just use a standard set of calipers, measure it up, and you can see exactly how big those measurements are to put into your computer. But pretty basic so far. Just drawing up a sketch of what the inside of the part there will look like. And here's that drawing to size that I was talking about. You take your calipers and measure it up and know exactly what size physically it'll be and what measurement that's going to be. And then if you look here, we got to add in a hole for the keyring as well. So just putting a note here, keyring sized, and then we're going to measure up that keyring as well. Things that are important here with keyring is we want the maximum diameters. So here you can see the maximum thickness, I should say, is about 2 millimeters, and also the here it's just a millimeter, so we're going to use that 2 millimeters as our smallest measurement, the smallest we could possibly go. But if you look at any of the other dimensions on this part, I add a little bit of a tolerance in there, a little bit of wiggle room. That way we don't have any issues. So here you'll see the part itself originally was 25 millimeters. We're making it 26. Depth was originally 1. We're making it 2, so that there's a little bit of wiggle room in there. Now coming to the designing here. The designing is kind of an interesting part because it's where you get to see everything come to life. So a simple picture you draw up comes something a little bit more once you bring it into the computer. So starting here with just basic shapes, using a center rectangle, Fusion 360 design everything out. You can get a free version of it online. There's a bunch of great tutorials online on how to use the program. So if you look here, you'll see there is the center rectangle that I drew, added in the dimensions that we had on the paper. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this up a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a flat bottom to be able to use. And then after that, I'm going to make another sketch here, and I'm going to project the shape. That way I can interact with it. So if you just click P on your keyboard, that'll allow you to project, and then you can hit enter, and that'll take those measurements over. Now the center part here, using all those dimensions that I took before, all those measurements. So we're going to make this here, and then we're going to extrude it up a little bit. It's very important when you're doing this function here to use the join function, because you want this all to be in one singular body while you're making it. So just extruding it up that depth that we wanted on that paper there. I believe that was 2 millimeters, and there's our pocket. So going into this, our next step is going to be extruding the top of it up. So we're basically enclosing it now. Don't worry about that. Once we get to the printer step, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a pause in it. So at that layer where the hole is, we can put the chip in and then continue printing and just print directly over it. So again, going to want to use the join function here with the extrude. and that'll make this all into one solid shape. And now let's add on a little bit of text. Text is extremely finicky with Fusion 360. Also going to add in the hole here as well for the keyring. So same sort of dimensions, same thing we did before. I'm just adding in some dimensions from that corner there, so it sits nice and even, how far drop down it is and how far to the side as well. So just making it 3.50 each just to bring it a little bit. You don't want it too close to the corner where it's going to tear away, and you don't want it too close to the center to where it's going to run into that RFID chip. But just there, looks like it should be perfect. So yeah, so there's the hole there. And now moving on to the text. Text is pretty finicky in Fusion 360. Most important part is you want text that doesn't have a lot of fine lines. You want nice bolded letters that don't have any thin portions to them. Problem with text in Fusion 360 is any of those thin portions, it's going to have a hard time extruding it. It's not really a normal shape. So see here, going and adding the text, it's pretty simple. Just go create text, and then you can drop it right on. Here, I'm just going to extrude the text out 1 millimeter, and that should be good there. You can also cut it into the design as well, depending on what you want to do. But I want it raised a little bit, so that way when we come to multicolor print this, it'll make everything a lot easier. There'll only be one color change, so it'll take a lot less time to do. So now we're going into Bambu Studio. Very important when you're doing this, when you go into Fusion, you're going to want to export the file as a 3MF. So once you bring it into the slicer software, it still has that void in it. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is the slicer will fill the entire model, and you won't be able to add in that void there. So now we're just adding in that pause where we're going to put the RFID chip. So after you slice that, go over to the side here, and you will see all I did was I saw when the bridging layer was, I brought it a few layers down from that, and then added in that pause. If you right click on that plus sign there, that'll allow you to add in the pause. Now we're going to be going in, adding some multicolor into this. So big paint bucket up there, click that. That'll bring you into a menu. I like doing a height color fill on a lot of these because the height color fill tends to be a lot less finicky. You can do it in one step rather than clicking all the faces individually to paint it. So yeah, you'll see this height fill here. I adjust the height range to go all the way to the top, so I can click this, just do it in one click and be done with it. And yeah, so there is the second color in there. Yeah, and you just choose whichever color you want. Select the height range tool, select where you want the color to start. And there we go. Just looking through the file here, you can see that is everything there. There's our pause. This is how it's going to be building up. So now we're going to go into recording the NFC tag. So this is NFC Tools app here. You click on the top there, add in your link, and then that will bring up this menu where you can click on the write function and tap your NFC tag to it, which will write your URL onto it. After that, you can see me just testing it here, and it brings up the link to my channel, as I was looking to do. Here, this is first part of the printing. There's a sticker on the back of this. You peel that off, and then you can stick it inside of the print at the pause here. And just gotta be careful, that fan can blow the tag out. Then you click resume printing, and prints the rest of the way. It does a color change, and here it is. So now you can pull it off the build plate and put it in front of this background so you can see it a little better, and yeah, it came out pretty nice. And here's our testing it, and brings up the link, and that's it. We're good to go. And here's another print that I did with the same sort of process. So yeah, you can get pretty creative with it. So just wanted to show this off, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration for your guys' projects.